every co-parent should do is absolutely to have a shared calendar. Anything to get organized and to avoid the chaos. You matter this summer too. Summer is not all about the kids, okay? And it's really important for you to carve out space for yourself as well. With summer break just around the corner, I wanted to take a minute for today's episode and really dive into the topic of the summer break and co-parenting. Basically, how not to lose your friggin' mind this summer. The truth is, we know that summer break sounds relaxing, like you don't have to make this. I don't know, depending on how old your kids are. Listen, my kids are 11 and 13. And so yes, I'm still making lunches. Okay, people. So for me, I'm like, summer break. It's a little more relaxed. There's no screaming in the mornings to get the kids out the door and making lunches and doing all the things. But I think that especially for divorced moms who are trying to juggle co-parenting situations, work and childcare and vacation plans, and also your freaking sanity, then summer break can actually feel daunting. Summer break can feel hard. And so if you've ever really felt that dread starting to come in as the school year ends, if your brain is already trying to navigate the 47 logistics of like how you're going to navigate getting this person here and doing your work and what are they going to do all day and getting to this summer camp and doing all the things before you've even had your morning coffee, then number one, you're not a bad mom for feeling this way. It's totally normal. But this episode is absolutely for you because I think, God, this will, I guess, be my sixth summer coming up. I have been navigating the summer break and co-parenting as a single mom. And so we're going to get into it today. I want to talk a little bit about how to co-parent smoothly during the summer, even when maybe the communication's a little tough, how to protect your time, your joy, and your peace, even in a chaotic season, what to do when the schedule doesn't feel fair, and some practical ways to keep the kids entertained without losing your last ounce of energy. Just a few tips I want to share with you guys, some co-parenting tips that could save your sanity, okay? Listen, I am all about, in my business and also just in life, I'm all about organization. So I want to first start by a little bit of the practical stuff. So I think the very first thing that every co-parent should do is absolutely to have a shared calendar. Whether or not that's Google, I know what my ex and what we do is we've got basically a BAIC shared family calendar, okay? And so I've got access to it. It's actually color-coded and I've got access to it. My ex-husband has access to it. And actually my ex-husband's partner, who really manages everything for him, which is amazing. Like having a sister wife, but not really, but you know what I'm saying, right? Because her and I just communicate on the schedule and I don't have to deal with him. It's actually amazing. And he'll even tell you too, that's his dream come true. But we have a shared calendar, whatever actually works. So I know there's Cozy, Our Family Wizard, there's Google Calendar. Like I said, whatever you will actually use. I use Google Calendar for everything on my iPhone. So that's why that one works well. But it really can work well when you put everything in there. So vacations, camp dates, who's got the kids when, maybe pickup times if it's outside of your normal schedule, anything to get organized and to avoid the chaos. I think that another thing that can be helpful is to create a little bit of a summer parenting agreement. And what I mean by this is, yes, we know that when you get divorced, you definitely have a parenting agreement. And depending on your situation, you may very strictly abide that agreement 24/7, no matter what. And if that works for you, then great, right? I know there's a lot of situations where that is necessary. I know for me, my ex-husband and I, we have a parenting agreement. We don't even know what it says. We've always been able to just be very flexible with one another and work with one another. So I think that what can be helpful is because the summer is a whole other ball of wax. Okay. The kids aren't in school. There's camps. There's this. The summer is a different animal. And so I think that it can be important. If you have a little bit of flexibility with your ex to approach the summer months a little bit differently. So a little mini agreement. Of course, I'm talking an informal one. And I'm not advising you to go against the parenting plan. I'm saying if you have that situation with your ex where there's a little bit of flexibility there, sometimes coming up with a little bit of a summer parenting agreement, just answering questions, who's covering what weeks, are the vacations part of regular time or are they separate? Things like that can come up. What happens if one of you wants to travel during the summer with the kids and it's during the other parent's time or whatever that looks like? I think that even if it's not a part of your official custody agreement, and again, this only works that kind of relationship with your co-parent to where you can have some flexibility in there. But I do think thinking through some of these things ahead of time, I think can be really, really helpful. Another, I think, tip that will help you to save your sanity this summer is I do think that it can be helpful to just have like just a little loose list of maybe like what are some of the activities, like low effort summer activities. Now, obviously this depends on how old your kids are. We all know that when the kids are younger, I mean, it's the hardest. My kids are 11 and 13, so it's a little bit easier now. Like we throw in a couple camps, and then after that though, they're out in the neighborhood riding with their friends. But listen, I'm still getting the whole, like, even in the summer, I still get, I'm bored. I mean, I at least get that like once or twice a week. So I know for me, what's been really helpful is I go ahead and pre-plan it in my schedule, like during the summer, that I know, okay, hey, once a week on Friday, I'm just going to plan. My daughter, I don't even need to do anything with because she's so self-sufficient. My 11-year-old son, he's the one, I'm bored. Okay. Boys are different. Y'all know this. I just plan to like take him to the jump park and work from the park, or pre-plan ahead of time. I'll look at the month, like the month of June, like, okay, I know these Fridays or these Tuesdays or whatever that looks like. Maybe one day I'll take him to the pool and work from the pool, or I'll work from, and again, I know this doesn't work for everybody because not everybody has a flexible schedule, but this is why you also need to start your own coaching business so you can have a flexible schedule. Sidebar, side plug, join the Renew You wait list and you can do that too. Okay, back to our regular schedule programming, but being able to work from, wherever, I just pre-plan that out so that I've got some activities on the books for them. Now, if you can't work from wherever, that's okay, but maybe it looks like being able to just plan after your normal work hours, being able to like take someplace, maybe if it's even for like some ice cream or like whatever that looks like. I just think that having some things kids can look forward to do, I just think it makes things a little bit easier. Have some ideas on the days that you're scheduled to have your kids. I also think that what can also be helpful in the summer is having a go bag for transitions between homes. And what I mean by that is I just think that especially with the summer and the pool time and bathing suits and swim gear and sunscreen and all of that, either having duplicates at both homes or just having like a bag, like an easy bag that they can just quickly take with them. Because you guys know, right? If you guys have kids in sports and all that, there is nothing worse than getting ready to like take your kid to like the freaking baseball game you got to take them to. And then all of a sudden, oh man, my jersey's at dad. Dude, I can't even tell you how many times a baseball season that I hear that. And it's so aggravating. But then on the other hand, it's like, it's really not the kid's fault having to split between two homes. And in fact, I had this whole conversation with Michelle Dempsey about this. Do you think that we have to not necessarily coddle our children, but I do think that we need to give a little bit of extra just acknowledgement that that's hard. And the summer, when especially things like bathing suits, sunscreen, goggles, all those things can be, that's not on their normal brain to travel with those between like mom and dads. I would just have either a spare set, like a go summer bag. That can be a really easy thing to do as well. I think that just a couple other things I want to share with you guys just to really kind of make this summer easy without losing your mind. I think it's also really important to recognize that you matter this summer too. Okay, let me just say this again. Summer's not all about the kids, okay? You matter this summer too. And it's really important for you to carve out space for yourself as well. So that means like, yes, girl, like going ahead and blocking off your non-negotiables now. So go ahead now, get ahead of this shit. Schedule some solo time when your kids are with your ex. So even if that's an afternoon nap, an afternoon walk, like whatever that looks like, block off some time in your calendar. Okay. I also think it is okay for you to go ahead and like not only pre-book, like get ahead of what the childcare is going to look like when your kids are with you during the summer so that you're not drowning for help, but also like when your kids are with you all day long, like go ahead and pre-book some sitters, or maybe like at night, sometimes you can go have a dinner or a drink or whatever that looks like with your friends. But again, plan ahead, get ahead of this. The other thing I want to just share is definitely think about, I think, getting ahead of meal planning. The truth is for summer, I know where I live, summer's only 8 weeks long and it really does fly by, but also in the moment can feel really, really long when you're having to like, your kids are home now, right? So it's like, oh my God, especially when they're with you, it's like all the meals, all the food, everything's on you. At least with lunches, you could like pack them a lunch, send them out the door. They like buy their lunch there, whatever that looks like. But now it feels like it's all on you. So absolutely just plan. Summer doesn't mean you have to plan all these gourmet meals. Just plan some easy meals, but like just get ahead of it. Again, it goes back to planning, which is really, really, really important. I just want to remind you guys of some important, I think, mindset shifts that will also keep you grounded before we close out. So number one, I just really want you to remember, and this is just single momming it in general, okay? This is not just related to the summer. This is single momming it in general. You know, the first one I want you guys to remember always is that, listen, you're not failing because things feel hard. Just because shit feels hard doesn't mean you are failing. You are a human being, and single momming it is hard, especially can feel hard in the summer. You also don't need to entertain every single damn moment. Bottom line is that our kids, I don't know if you guys have read the book yet, Anxious Generation. If you haven't, read it. Really, really important. But one of the things it talks about, and this is a big movement, I think right now, a lot of people are talking about this. Dr. Shafali talks about it too, is that we are really overstimulating our kids with all the YouTube and the gaming and the phones and everything. Like, our kids are so damn overstimulated. They don't know what to do with themselves when they get bored. And the truth is that boredom oftentimes builds creativity. And also for kids who get bored, just simply doing nothing can be a gift. Rest is a gift. So don't feel like you have to entertain every single moment of every single day. The other thing that I want you to remember is that you're allowed to enjoy your alone time. Okay. You are allowed. That's why I want you, like, if your kids are with you a lot this summer, book a sitter, carve out some alone time. And the other thing that I want to share with you is really have a little bit of a reframe. Like, try to have a reframe around, instead of looking at it like, oh my gosh, kids are going to be home all summer. Like, oh, whatever. It can feel a little bit daunting. I really, a long time ago, started having a little bit of a reframe around summer of what a gift it is, honestly, to be able to have them where it can be a little bit of a pause for all of us. Like, we're not having to get up every morning at X, Y, and Z, get out the door, rush. Really, for you too, in the summer, for me, I don't get up at the same early morning time I usually do. I actually allow it to be a little bit of a summer break for myself. So I move into a little bit more of a relaxed mode. In fact, even with my work, I don't even interview. I'm still releasing the episodes, you guys, because I pre-record them, but I don't record any new episodes like for guest interviews over the summer. I take a little bit of a break, and I want to encourage you to find small ways to do that for yourself. The other thing that I started doing is I started carving out time to take each one of my kids on a little solo date. If you don't have the means or the time to be able to get away for an extended time for a solo break with your kids, do it for a night. Take each kid on a solo date. Like, really take advantage of the summer where there are no sports, unless you do like crazy travel baseball, like apparently I'm going to be getting into this summer. Holy God. Anyways, take advantage of the fact that you don't have to get up the set time to get the kids on the bus. You don't have to make lunches every day. You don't have to deal with shuttling back and forth to sports, right? Just take a beat for yourself as a family, you and your kids, to just breathe and relax and take some space. So as a quick recap, what I really want you to remember as we go into this summer is, number one, the best way to really just co-parent and get through this summer and navigate a great summer. I should take that back. I don't mean just get through it, because again, I really want you to use this opportunity to take a break yourself, right? But just to really navigate this summer with peace and joy and harmony and all the things, like, plan early to shit down and get prepared. Make sure that you prep for your kids' days and your you days. And I really want you to ask for help before you burn out. So listen, if this episode, you guys, gave you a breath of relief, as something resonated, screenshot it and share it on Instagram. You also want to head over to YouTube, catch the full episode, the full video, all my guest interviews, all my solos, full video over on YouTube. You can also message me and share with me, what is one way that you are going to take care of yourself this summer? And I want you to think about that. What is one way you are going to take care of yourself this summer? Until next time, my beauties, I want you to remember, what do I always say, you guys? Divorce isn't the end. It's your fucking launch pad. All right, I'll catch you on the next one.